Alright. Yeah, WS Gaming 52. Oh yeah, and like Jalen Ramsey was remember that tweet that he sent out? He's like, "Oh yeah, Jalen or Josh Allen is trash." Mind you, Jalen Ramsey gave up a perfect passer rating against Josh Allen. Like that's crazy. Like Jalen Ramsey is kind of washed. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's why. I mean, that's all. I mean, honestly, if you want my honest opinion, I think Trayvon Diggs is a little bit overrated because, yeah, don't get me wrong, he has a whole crap ton of interceptions, but he also gives up a lot of yardage, so they throw to him more. Second or third year, yeah. Yeah. Uh, well, Stephon Diggs is 100% the number one, but, like, what, one of the touchdown receivers from last night was, like, Gabriel Davis or Gabe Davis? Um, they got Dawson Knox at their tight end, which I already I mean, I knew who Dawson Knox was because but other than that, I mean, there's what, Diggs, Davis, Knox. I couldn't tell you Buffalo's 3 or 4. Um, so I would say yes and no. So yeah, the Bills are undoubtedly probably the most talented or the ones that they need to show like they want to prove that they want to belong in that division. I'm gonna be honest with you, Miami's up there. I think Miami's gonna surprise a lot of teams, especially after the Tyreek Hill trade. They're gonna look hella nice. No. Yeah. Those honestly, I mean, like, if he can work on those mechanics, if he can work on his throwing mechanics, that's gonna be a filthy team. But like honestly, even with the slant routes, I mean, you can throw Tyreek in the slant. He has so much speed that he can throw anybody off on a slant route. Jalen Waddle. I drafted him in my fantasy last year, and he, yeah, yeah. Oh, here we go. Classic Ohio State, brother. They're not at the number 1 spot now. No, they're not. Georgia. Nope, Georgia's number 1 now. Yeah, they released the AP poll yesterday. Georgia's number 1. It's Georgia 2. I think or Georgia 1. I think Alabama's like still 2. And then Ohio State 3. Yeah. So like all right, listen. All right, listen. I'm going to give hold on. So if this would have been last week, I would have agreed with you. I'd have been like, yeah, the SEC, is kind of biased. Notre Dame just freaking lost to Marshall, which is WVU's little brother. So I think any terms of like, oh well, Ohio State beat a top five, top 10 team. Yeah, so did WVU's little brother, and they got paid to do it. No, no, WVU and Marshall aren't ranked. Um, Penn State just cracked the top 20 though. I'm blessed. Yeah, they're like 22. So, yeah. So, well, actually, speaking of this NCAA real quick before we get back to the NFL, did you see that they announced 12 teams? They're going to announce a 12-team playoff. Yeah, it's like it's going to start in like 2025 or 2026 somewhere around there, but yeah, it's going to be a 12-team playoff bracket. Cuz a lot of people were kind of iffy on the idea, like it ruins the sanctity of like college football, and that like it'll show that. So like the biggest argument was last year when like Cincinnati got into the college football playoffs and they got, yeah. Well, the thing is that like Cincinnati had went undefeated, and everybody was like, "Well, just because they went undefeated, they don't deserve to be in the college football playoffs." And then they proceeded to get blown out by Bama, and everyone was like, "See, Cincinnati didn't belong." And I'm like, they went undefeated, like, oh, so can I. Maybe because that's the reason why nobody wants to talk about that. Oh man, you talking about all your college football stories. Yeah, dog. Fucking I would love to see Penn State in the college football or even WVU, but I know that's not going to happen cuz Penn State's always good, but there's always that one week, that one game where Penn State decides not to show up like a couple years ago. Penn State, we were 6th. We were 6th in the nation. We were in the driver's seat. And then we lost to Minnesota, who was unranked at the time, and that blew our chances. And I'm like, oh, that's a cheeky. Oh yeah, and and then that screwed you. That that screwed you, yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, bro. It kind of like it kind of pisses me off that like Penn State and Ohio State like honestly always have the best games. Like they have the best outings. Like nobody considers at least to most Ohio State fans, they don't even consider Penn State like one of their rivals. I'm like I'm like, "Dog, you consider Michigan your rival, and you have, like, a whole week dedicated to Michigan, but you guys literally dominate Michigan every single year. That's not a rivalry, that's a big brother, little brother situation." Like yeah, but that was in Michigan, though. That was, like honestly, you mean, when you have the top 2 pick, or when you get the top 2 pick out of that, bro, Aiden Hutchinson is a monster. He was a monster. No, he's in Detroit. He stayed local because the Lions drafted him 2nd. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, something like that. I mean, Arkansas State's not that much better. However, though, one thing is certain, never ever and that includes every college team ever, never invite Appalachian State to your stadium, because 'cause you're probably gonna lose. Yeah, that was the first it was in, like, 2000 and, like, 7, somewhere around there. Yeah, bro, nobody knew who Appalachian State was. Think Appalachian State, I could be wrong, I'm pretty sure Appalachian State's in one of the Carolinas. North Carolina. They're in Boone, North Carolina. I guess I should have known that because College Game Day is going to Boone, Carolina. Yeah, for the Appalachian State game. I don't know who they're playing, but I know they're getting a College Game Day. Yeah, can you well, like, honestly, if that upset doesn't happen, College Game Day is probably not going there. Like, it's only the fact that they had upset freaking number 6 Texas A&M, which Texas A&M is trash, bro. They had the best recruiting class, and, like, everyone was like, "Oh my god, this team is literally god, like, nobody's gonna beat this team." And I'm like, "Oh." It's in Ohio. I think in like 2 weeks, like not this week, but I think either next week or the week after we play each other. Penn State. Oh, really? Oh, at this moment, yeah. And Penn State. Really? Oh, the time is to be determined. I think it's in I think yeah. Oh, I'm pretty sure. I mean, they could change it on the fly, but I'm pretty sure Penn State has already announced when one of their whiteout games are gonna be. I think, honest to God, I think it's against yeah. Where is where is this whiteout? Where is this whiteout? I'll find it. Cause they announced it on Facebook that when their whiteout game was. I would love to go to a freaking whiteout game. Oh yeah. Scarlet and Red, right? Got red. Yeah. Mm. Oh wow, listen to this. Penn State announced this well, this is months ago, but this was about a couple months ago. Penn State announced this week that it will host Minnesota on October 22nd for its 2022 whiteout game at Beaver Stadium. The kickoff is for 7:30. One of at least two nights the Lions will play this season. Ohio State certainly won't mind the decision since it ends the program's streak of serving as its whiteout opponent for 5 consecutive, including the empty seat trip in 2020. Minnesota, yeah. Oh, yeah, but that I mean, that's probably the thing. Yeah, besides Michigan, but that's the thing, I mean, they have been doing that. That's probably why they were like, "Hey, listen, we need to take a break from that." It makes the most sense, yeah, but oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, of course, dude. They're one of the top Power 5 teams in the country. Yeah. No. No, no, we wouldn't. Like, I love I love WVU and I love Penn State, but honestly, if I'm taking a bet on which one of my favorite teams would have a better chance of beating of Ohio State, it's Penn State. Like, WVU would get blown out of the water. No, yeah, exactly. Whoever that person is that told you he had to been on some good, and if you know what I'm saying, like, cause you know what game I'm excited for next year that I'm 100% going to? WVU and Pitt and Morgantown, the backyard brawl, second iteration. Two shitty teams with all the hate and heritage. uh, and I don't think so. It is. Yeah, it's Ohio State. Yeah. Oh, nice. Jesus, good God. Jesus, good God. I'm looking at these stats, bro. Ohio State leads to that rivalry 64 to 23 to 2. The longest win streak was Ohio State with 15 from 1968 to 1982. Honestly, I mean, I do plan at some point to go to a Penn State game, but, we haven't had the backyard brawl since, well, obviously, we had it this year. I mean, and you cannot tell me, even though it was 2 shitty teams, you cannot tell me that game was oh, bro, that game was so entertaining to watch. That game was super entertaining. Yeah, yeah. That way, yeah. That was the last time that that was the last time that WVU was in serious contention for a natty, and guess who they lost to? They lost to Pitt. Huh. Oh, nice. God, was that the Tim Tebow led? F Oh, Chris Leak. Oh, Mhm. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, running backs really don't have that much of longevity as they used to. No. I I mean, who do you got? Who would you have ahead of him? So, I mean, I would Derrick Henry, Jonathan Taylor, Christian McCaffrey if he stays healthy. Um, well, you could borderline say he's like the fourth or oh well, Alvin Kamara. I think Alvin Kamara is who if but that's the thing. If he stays healthy, he's arguably like that. I mean, that's the same with Christian McCaffrey. You can say that Zeke is better than Christian McCaffrey unless CMC stays healthy. So if you say that CMC and Kamara stay healthy, I could say you're. Oh yeah, yeah, bro. Tony Romo is a freaking wizard, bro. Yeah. Tony Romo is not only a wizard on the was a wizard on the field, bro. He's a wizard in the broadcasting booth. Like he's so because like you'll be sitting there, right, and you'll be watching this game that he's broadcasting, and he's like, "What do you think, Tony Romo? What do you think of this play? Let's just say it's Rams and Bills." He'll just be like, "Oh, well, you see the way that the wide receivers are lining up, this is clearly gonna be a deep bomb. I'm gonna say." Gabe Davis from the Bills scores this touchdown right here on a slant route. And then it'll proceed to like go exactly how it goes. And you're like, dog, you're a freaking wizard. Oh, yeah, definitely. Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, what? So, like, what? When was like, I mean, yeah, 2016. Yeah. So, I mean, what? So, like, he was like, I mean, he started like, he wasn't Tony Romo was a, like, starter from, like, what, 2005, 2006? Man, he came into the league. Gotcha. I mean, like, granted, I mean, the Cowboys, like, I mean, it's not everything's gonna be his fault, but, like, honestly, when you're looking at it, if you're gonna put Tony Romo, like, if Tony Romo wants that Super Bowl, what, he's gonna have to go through the dynasty of the Patriots. I mean, later in late I mean, arguably, if you're gonna go in that same division, I mean, at the time, what, the Colts were still good with Peyton Manning for, like, a couple seasons. Um, the early 2010 Ravens, like, the early Ravens, especially, like, their last Super Bowl Ravens, like, with Ray Lewis's last year when he freaking tore up the league. I mean, you're gonna have I mean, Pittsburgh was good, yeah. Arizona. If you're gonna say stay in the same division, or in the same conference, you're gonna have to go through Aaron Rodgers, Packers, um, Aaron Aaron Rodgers, Packers, Russell Wilson, Seahawks, the Legion of Boom Seahawks. Um, yeah, I mean, like, I mean, granted, I mean, you could have had your chances, but, like, I don't think, I mean, with all the talented teams that they had, I mean, like, oh yeah, could be a good shot, but then that also begs the thing, like, say you beat Seattle, are you gonna beat Tom Brady's Patriots? Oh, I don't wanna throw the ball. Why? Oh, yeah. I mean, you also gotta think of, they had I mean, Patriots had one of the best defenses in the league that year, so it's like, if you can go throw for throw with Tom Brady, you have to outplay that defense that they had. then it turned into burnt toast. Ever since he left the Cowboys. Mm, yeah. Yeah. Shit, bro, you're just freaking. I'm just. I mean, dog, look at me. I'm a Bears fan. There's no way in hell. Yeah, I mean, I'm be honest with you. Yeah. Well, right now we gotta worry about cause we could probably end up fucking losing Roquan. Well, I guess from what reports say, I mean, like the Bears, from what the reports say, is that I'm pretty sure Roquan had requested a trade because quote unquote he like the organization doesn't like value him like because we've been trying to give him contract extensions, but from what I was reading, they're not they're not great. Yeah. Oh, I love Roquan Smith. I don't want us to get rid of him. Mm-mm. Georgia. Uh-huh. Yeah. Roquan Smith surprised everyone on August 9th when he dropped the trade request hours before the Bears were set to host Family Fest at Soldier Field. After being at a hold-in at training camp for the past 9 days, the 25-year-old returned to practice Saturday at Hallis Hall following what he called a distasteful contract process. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. He hasn't played. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah, let's get to the actual scores and stuff and talk about the scores. That's gonna be a tight game. He right now, the Patriots on DraftKings Sportsbook, I don't know if it's, like, different on other sportsbooks, but on DraftKings, the Patriots are -120 favorites in that game. Yeah, they're technically the favorites. I don't know how that game could go either way. I mean, that game could go either way. Yeah, Trubisky's the starter. But, I mean, the problem is that, I mean, uh TJ Watt's out with that injury, with that torn pec. Yeah, he tore his pec week 1. Um, it said it might not require surgery, which means that he probably won't be out the entire season, but he's probably still gonna be out, like, a few weeks. I think the Patriots will probably come out on that. I don't think it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be a sloppy game, but I think the Patriots will probably come out. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Trubisky is okay. Well, also remember, Pittsburgh had to go through a whole quarterback funk because Dwayne Haskins died. So, like, that's the only reason why they signed Trubisky was because of, like, Dwayne Haskins passing away. Yeah. Yeah, it's probably debatable. Yeah, I mean, the Trubisky is, like, I think we'll see what he does this year. A lot of people blame Trubisky being ass on the this well, not just not in Chicago, Matt Nagy. That was the main thing. Because Matt Nagy was they were like, "Oh," I remember our first year when we signed him, they were like, "Oh my god, you literally got, like, coaching from, like, Andy Reid, and he's about to be god tier," and then we made the playoffs, and I was like yeah, and then the whole situation with the double doink, and I'm like, "Dog, this is what" yeah, and I was just like, "Ah, bro," I was so upset when that happened because I was watching that game, and I was like, "Ah." Yeah. And then yeah, it was bad. Can we talk about the absolute robbing? Listen to this. So, to start off the NFL week, Thursday night football. Chiefs at Chargers at Chiefs, which should most definitely be the Sunday night game. That's probably gonna be the most entertaining game of the week. I'm gonna be honest with you. That game's gonna be so fun. 'Cause, like, I mean, when you have, as good as the defense as the Chargers have now with Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa, and then, you got friggin' Patrick Mahomes last week throwing for 5 touchdowns, 300 yards without Tyreek Hill. No, it's not. Sunday night game is Bears and Packers at Lambeau. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I said. They robbed the Chiefs and Chargers of that Thursday game with freaking Yeah. Khalil Mack on the other side, yeah. Um, Nico Hardman, Juju Smith-Schuster. Yeah. Um, yeah, well, to be honest, Patrick Mahomes is making everybody. Oh, yeah, that's right. They got Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Used to play for Green Bay. I forgot about that. I mean, he's not great, but I mean, like, I forgot all about them. Yeah. Yeah, so Kansas City is minus 205 favorites. Bro, the over under on that game is 54.5. The question is it gonna be with, with the Chargers defense being slightly better? I mean, I would say slightly better than Arizona's. Is it gonna be a defensive showdown or is it gonna be a slugfest? Ooh. I mean, I still think yeah, I have the Chargers coming out of this game. I don't know. It's gonna be tough on who shows up, the defense or the offense. I think if it's gonna be a decent offensive showdown, maybe mid-20s, but if the offense come in full force, this could easily be like a 30-point team, a 30-point game for each side. Like Yeah, but the Chargers are gonna from what I'm reading, the Chargers are gonna be without Keenan Allen because he got hurt last week. Yeah. Yeah, against the Raiders. So like right now, the Chargers number one right now is like Mike Williams. I mean, he's not a bad choice, no, but I mean, you got Austin Eckler in the backfield who can both run and receive. Yeah. Oh, yeah. LaDainian Tomlinson, yeah. Oh, yeah. No. Hell no. Yeah. Yeah. I oh, I was just gonna say, yeah, I was just gonna move on to the next game too, which is starting at, like, 1 o'clock. It's, Tampa Bay. Oh, well, I have mine on the research I did last night, so mine's probably which, I mean, my research, I mean, I did, I looked it up through the DraftKings Sportsbook app, and I was just writing down the teams and just little stats. They're all 1 o'clock games, so not if you have red zone, boy. Yeah, early. Yeah. Well, I mean, they somehow took care of Tennessee last week. Carolina is looking the big well, Carolina, not especially not Carolina, but Baker Mayfield is looking to bounce back after that week 1 loss against his former team. Yeah, bro, he got swag. He had that swag and that attitude. Yeah. I think this is Daniel Jones's last season with cuz they got that head coach from Buffalo that turned Josh Allen from a nobody into an absolute stud. No. No, he wasn't good, and then fucking I can't his name is blanking me right now. Who the Giants head coach right now is? No, Jason Garrett's ass. Dable, that's his name. He was the assistant for uh Josh Allen that friggin' took him from a bum to a stud. So that's why the Giants hired him. I think if they don't get anything out of Brian Dable with Daniel Jones, I think this is Daniel Jones's last run. Giants are actually, believe it or not, I mean, I wouldn't say this, but Giants are the favorites in that game, which is kind of surprising. Yeah, they're the favorites minus 135, which is kind of crazy. I mean, granted, they're both. Baker's 0 or the Panthers are 0 and 1, the Giants are 0 and 2, so I think there's a slight bias between that. I think it would be a little bit closer if the Panthers would have come back and won that game. Yeah, I root for the other team. Maybe, because what Baker. What they have Robbie Anderson. The Panthers have Robbie Anderson. That's their undoubted number one. Um, CMC, yeah, who's a run pass threat. Um, in terms of their wide receiver core, there's Robbie Anderson, there's oh that Moore guy that they have. DJ Moore, yeah. Other than that, and then other than that, I don't know their third or fourth wide receivers. The Giants, what they have Kenny Galladay, who's their number one. So what you have? Oh, Sterling Shepard. I forgot all of them. Oh wow, really? Bro, listen to the ESPN has the wide receiver depth chart as so number one and number two are Galladay and Shepard, and then number three is Kadarius Tony. So what? Your top four is Kenny Galladay, Sterling Shepard, Kadarius Tony, maybe Darius Slayton. Oof. Kadarius Tony is. I don't know about that. I think that was one of the New York Giants blunders. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh boy, boy. Uh, that's gonna be a shit fest. The Browns are gonna shit all over that team. Is he hurt or is he hunting for moms? Because there's a difference. Yeah, because Joe Flacco started last week. What says Joe Flacco is expected to start for the Jets week 2 against the Browns. But there is a possibility that Mike White could get the nod instead. Yeah, I believe, co correct me wrong, I didn't see any of the Browns game last week, but I'm pretty sure their top quarterback right now is Jacoby Brissett. Let me double check if he's pretty is it? Yes. So yeah, so the Browns are like, honestly, they just have to fucking run the ball. Just run the ball, let Nick Chubb do his thing, let Kareem Hunt do their thing. And they got Cooper too. They can throw the ball to Cooper. Oh, yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. So the Browns are minus 250 favorites, one of the bigger known favorites, but the Browns are also debuting their new midfield logo. Brownie Brownie the Elf, yeah. That was the original Browns logo, yeah, before Art yeah, because Art Modell wanted Mr. Elf. Yeah, I like that logo too. Apparently it's getting shit on though. Like it's kind of weird though because like people were shitting on it, but like it was literally decided from a fan vote. Like the fans wanted this to be on the midfield logo. Oh, bro, let me tell you a story real quick. So, I have gone to one Bears Browns game in Cleveland. Let me tell you how old this game is. This game is so old. Jay Cutler, Brandon Marshall, Alshon Jeffrey, Julius Peppers was still on the Bears. I cannot for the life of you tell you who the Browns quarterback was in that game. It was 2013. No, it was no, I don't think it wasn't Johnny Football. It was some no-name game, like, the Bears yeah, we went it was the December week 16 game. Yeah, and we were in the nosebleeds, bro, but they were, like, 20 bucks a ticket. They were 20 bucks a ticket, and I was like, "Yo, listen, we getting these nosebleeds real quick." I can tell you the Bears won that game on an Alshon Jeffrey game-winning touchdown in friggin' let me tell you real quick. We were walking into the stadium. Some First off, one of the workers thought we were actually from Chicago. Yeah, so the game was December 15th, 2013. That was Let me tell you who this Browns quarterback was. This Browns Oh yeah, Matt Forte was also on that team. God, Martellus Bennett was our tight end. Here is the Browns QB. Jason Campbell was the Browns QB for that game. He went 22 for 31, 265 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks. Or no, I'm sorry, that was Cutler's no, that was Cutler's stats. Fucking Jason Campbell's stats was 273 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. Yeah, the Browns were 4-10 at that, like, were 4-10, yeah. So we were walking around, bro. I'll tell you what, I'll give Browns fans credit, but they're a bunch of assholes because like we were walking to our seats and these guys were coming by and they were like, "Oh yeah," they were high-fiving the Browns fans, and then they look at me and my dad and they're like, "Fuck you." And I'm like, "Oh, all right, Jesus." Right, this is how the game's gonna start out today, and then your team is ass, exactly. That's a good question. Yeah, I mean, they did go 0-16 for a reason. Yeah, they had a parade. Right? Oh, yeah. Matt Ryan. Which dude from Star Wars? Oh. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. But listen here, on a personal level, I have to speak. Listen, Jacksonville, Indianapolis, I know you're not gonna see this, but however, if you motherfuckers tie, I'm going to number one, Jacksonville, we're moving you to London. Indianapolis, we're moving you to Mexico City. It's gonna be an overnight job. Motherfuckers, don't tie because the Texans aren't going to win this week, which we'll get to that game in a sec. And then the Titans are probably not going to win this week, which we'll get to that game. If you motherfuckers tie. I think the Colts are going to win too. So, So, I also would say however, though, I would say that Indy has a good shot at winning this game. Indy is minus 200 favorites. However, though, the biggest factor right now is that game's in Jacksonville. If you remember, Indianapolis struggles to beat Jacksonville in Jacksonville. Remember last year? They had all they had to do was beat Jacksonville to make the playoffs, and they lost. Was he? I thought he only got 2 weeks. I thought it was only 2 weeks and then they canned his ass. No, 'cause Urban Meyer was like yeah, Urban Meyer also likes to kick his fucking kickers. Urban Meyer also likes to get a little frisky with some underage women, with some youngy women's. So shit happens, baby. Yeah. I w I would argue he's number we'll see if he can if Derrick Henry can stay healthy, I'd say he's probably number 1 too. I think right now Jonathan Taylor's that number 1 guy right now. Oh yeah, dude. He's got I mean like Derrick Henry. So like I think Derrick Henry is really good when it comes to like cuz he's a pure like he's a pure power runner. Like that's pretty much all he can do is run it's like power run. Like you could yeah, he's got those crazy eyes. But I mean, like, I feel like if you could, like, I feel like if you can get the more versatile running back, I think you should go for the more versatile. Because I mean, you could put Jonathan Taylor in the backfield. You can line him up on the side of the wide receivers and just have him run slants. However, though, I will give Derrick Henry credit. Dude's got a monster stiff arm. He'll send anybody to the shadow realm. I think it was Josh Norman. I'm pretty sure it was Josh Norman. Yeah, and then he signed that Biggie deal with the Panthers and friggin' turned into burnt toast. Just for the love of God, please do not tie. That's gonna be a fun one, yeah. So I think both of these teams, honestly, you could say this is way too early to say this, but I think in week two, this game is probably going to be the game where both teams have something to prove. So Miami looked really good against the Patriots last week. That's going to take them. That's going to send the Patriots down to the basement. I think that's one of their biggest humps. However, though, if you can beat the Ravens today, you're looking more of like, hey, we might actually make the playoffs. And this game is just as important for Baltimore because I mean, yeah, the Baltimore Ravens they went off last week. They played the Jets though. Like is this the game where like this is gonna be a great game against a really solid team, and is this gonna prove where Baltimore is a contender or are they just a pretender? Yeah. Yeah, bro, he single-handedly saved John Harbaugh's job. Because not a lot of people remember John Harbaugh was probably gonna end up getting fired. Like when they drafted Lamar Jackson, I mean he was all right to start the season, but there were reports that he was probably gonna get canned at the end of the year, and then Lamar Jackson went off, and they made the playoffs, and then they extended John Harbaugh. Yeah, Baltimore right now is yeah, Baltimore is opening up as the favorites, so I believe so. So I think he might be hurt because their running back depth says that he's like questionable. So right now, it looks like if he's not playing in this game, their two running backs are Kenyon Drake and Mike Davis. You don't remember Mike Davis? Bro, Mike Davis last year, I picked him up for fantasy, bro. Like when Cordell Patterson got hurt, and freaking Mike Davis gave me 2 wins in like 3 weeks because freaking he went off for the Falcons, and I was like, "Ooh." my fantasy hero. So, please. And steals crab legs. Tampa Bay is opening up as the favorite. However, I mean, obviously, yeah, they're obviously but honestly, they're not as big as a favorite as you think. They're only minus 145. They're not even the biggest they're not even the biggest favorite on this list. However, though, that's what's up. I mean, they beat Dallas, yeah, but Tampa Bay has also struggled against the Saints. I mean, yeah, in the past couple seasons, they've struggled to beat especially in I mean, that's why I say in home field is a virtue, bro. Home field is so important because I mean, look at Indy versus Jacksonville. Indy always struggles against Jacksonville and Jacksonville. Look at Tampa and New Orleans. If when you play the Saints in New Orleans, like that's a huge improvement. Especially yeah, especially because I'm pretty sure they're in a dome. So, like, that when this yeah, when Mercedes-Benz Arena is fully packed and you're screaming your lungs off in that dome, it's not like the voices from that like, from them screaming, like, exits out the arena. No, that bitch is trapped. They have the 1 o'clock there's usually, like, 9 to 10 1 o'clock games. Yeah. Yeah, I also will probably end up taking Tampa, but it's not like it's gonna be a cakewalk. I think this is gonna be a tough one. Yeah. Yep. No, y'all don't. Yeah. Jared Goff. Shout out to my boy Jonah Dotson, recent drafted rookie out of Penn State. Bless up. They got that they bro, he had a touchdown last game. Yeah, he looked really good. I don't usually watch Commanders games, but when I do, it's because I wanted to see how Jonah Dobson would do in his first year. I mean, in his first game, he didn't look too bad. He caught a touchdown pass, wasn't too bad. Walking to him wins, right? No, and then came in the real goat, Big Dick Nick. Yeah, I think he's currently on the Bears as like a bench rider. Yeah, I think the Bears still have him. No. I didn't say he wasn't the best. I'm just saying I was somewhat I don't expect Justin Fields to ball out this year, but like I just don't want him to end up on the great red sea of Ohio State quarterbacks that get drafted and end up turning out to be bums. Oh, I lied. He's on the Colts. Nick Foles is on the Colts. Yeah, he's backing up Matt Ryan. Yeah, I mean, it's okay. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's okay. Yeah. Yeah, Detroit. I'm picking Detroit too. They only lost, and they only lost. Yeah, they open up as the -135 favorites. Also, can I get one more thing out of the way? Yo, fuck Tom Brady. Why every time is if he's losing a Super Bowl, it's always to an NFC East team? You lost 3 Super Bowls, bro. You had 3 Super Bowls in the bag, and 2 of them you lost to the Giants, and 1 of them you lost to the Eagles. They're shit, but I mean, when Tom Brady has to go up against them, somehow shits the bed. Well, it's not gonna be Jimmy G. It's Trey Lance. Yeah, he started last week for the Bears or against the Bears in that freaking ocean of a game. Bro, I don't know if you saw that. Did you see the field? Yeah, bro, that shit was madness. Yeah, Justin Fields sliding. He got that dog in him. Yeah, he could be yeah, right? Oh yeah. This is this is one of the bigger favorites. 49ers are opening up that game against the Seahawks as -475 favorites. Yeah, it's a big one. But like it's just like I don't know cuz I mean the Seahawks aren't good. And I mean the 49ers are like slightly better than the Seahawks, but I mean last week or on that Monday game, Geno Smith looked really good against the Broncos. Geno Smith had that dog. GK Soul Cap. Bro, did you see that on Monday, Geno Smith probably right now has the hardest interview line ever? Cause like the girl asked Geno Smith, they were like, she was like, a lot of people were writing you off for this game, and Geno Smith was like, they wrote me off. I ain't right back, and I was like, ooh. WVU just has a history of like quarterbacks and wide receivers that like are really good for WVU but then don't translate to the NFL. Will Greer, Geno Smith, Kevin White. Huh. He wa he wasn't that good in Carolina. Yeah. Like crack rock? My biggest horror story is when the Bears traded away Brandon Marshall to draft Kevin White, and Kevin White was like, ah, that still disappoints me because I watched Kevin White fucking play at WVU, and oh man, I was so excited. I was like, oh, we just got our guy. Like we got the wide receiver of the future, and then he didn't turn out to be anything. I'm like, ah. How WVU has a they have a crappy draft. However, though, WVU shines and like in terms of drafting standpoint, WVU shines in like O line, D line. No, O line, D line. Cause oh yeah, well Pat McAfee's a G, bro. He a once in a lifetime punter. Actually, yeah. Well, actually, he right now he's taking a break from WWE because of College Game Day. I was like, bro, you a G, bro. I love listening to his podcast, Pat McAfee show. Like, oh, it's so funny. Oh yeah, I don't know either. I mean, they're the yeah. So they open up. They're looking to bounce back after that Bills game. They open up as the biggest favorites on the slate at minus 580. Yeah, they should win that game. Which is stupid. You beat your wife? Ah, 4 games, that's fine, you could beat women. You sexually molest women? Ah, it's 11 games, it's no big. Oh, you gambled? Nope, nope, not taking it. 2-year suspension. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm taking the Rams too. Now the question is oh, I was gonna say, is Matthew Stafford a racist? Cause, bro, did you not see that, bro? That everyone's claiming that Matthew Stafford is a racist because he wasn't able to get the ball to Allen Robinson and stuff like that. But he threw the ball to his white wide receivers. Cooper Cup and freaking that Higbee guy that they got. Yeah, Tyler Higbee. His white wide receivers were eaten, but not the black ones. Bro. My favorite YouTube creator, the wise great chiseled Adonis, there's a reason why when he says the name James White, he says I may be black, but the Patriots keep me on because my last name is White. Yeah, crazy. Yeah, that's madness. I think D Hop's still suspended, right? So who the hell you got what, Harvey Brown? Well, Henry Ruggs was a fucking idiot, but it's okay because they got Devontae Adams. Um, oh yeah. Now, so based on the week 1 games, which we'll get to the Packers in a second, are we under the impression that Aaron Rodgers needs Devontae Adams more than Devontae Adams needs Aaron Rodgers? Because Devontae Adams he had a pretty good night. He had 141 yards last week and a touchdown on 17 targets. Oh, I fucking loathe him. I can't stand him. Yeah. Oh yeah. Because Aaron Rodgers is one of their golden boys. Because he's not. No offense to Dak Prescott, but he's not on the level of Aaron Rodgers. That's why. Because I mean, like you could go out, or I mean, it's the same reason why the NBA will probably never ever suspend LeBron James. He makes the most money, so they're not gonna suspend him. Oh, I can say that I hate him because I do hate him. Always forget. I mean, like I know you're not like get big into the NBA, but I always forget that you're technical. I mean, you side with the Thunder. I always forget that. I always forget that. I'm like, oh, bro, fucking. I'll tell you what, hockey's a lot more entertaining than basketball. I'll give you that. 6 foot guys on knife shoes. Oh yeah, right. Oh, I'd laugh too. Vegas. Yeah. Yeah, I'm taking the Raiders. Denver is the favorite at minus 520. Yeah, minus 520. I mean, Russell Wilson, if last week, I mean, he needs to bounce back from last week. I think he'll do that for I think he'll do it against the Texans because it's the Texans. Yeah. Davis Mills? Something like that? He was, he was a draft pick for them last year. Yeah, I think right now Davis Mills is their starter. I mean, what I'm pretty sure the Texans also have Tyrod Taylor, but I think he's like number two. Y- Oh nope, I lied. It's their two quarterback duo is Davis Mills and Kyle Allen, who was on the Panthers last year. I'm pretty sure. Man, other than Brandon Cooks, they got no one. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'll agree with those terms. Yeah, I'd agree with that. That sounds reasonable. Let me just start by saying if the Bengals play like they played last week, the Cowboys have a chance. But that's probably not gonna happen. That's probably there's no way that Joe Burrow comes in in 2 weeks into the season, throws another 4+ interception game. There's no way. Mm-mm. Yeah. Yeah. Bro, just put 5 people on Jamar Chase. It's only stupid if it doesn't work, right? Maybe. Yeah. So like, yeah, so I mean, are they gonna that's the big question. Are they gonna put Micah Parsons on him or are they gonna put Trayvon Diggs on him? Bro, they remember that one game? I don't remember who the cornerback was, but it was like a few years ago. It was Atlanta versus Carolina, and freaking Julio Jones had a 300 plus yard game against that cornerback, and then the next day they cut him, and I was like, damn. It's done, bro. Mm-mm, I don't think so either. The Bengals on DraftKings are minus 345 favorites. I think that's probably about right. No. The only update that I see it says that I mean it says Dak Prescott is expected to miss 6 to 8 weeks because he might need surgery on that hand. Prescott said he thought he initially jammed a finger and didn't believe it was serious, but when he went to the locker room for X-rays, it showed a fracture. Yeah, so honestly, that's probably gonna need surgery. That 6 to 8 week timeline's probably gonna that's probably gonna be accurate. Yeah. Sunday Night Football. So this is my time to shine. Fuck Aaron Rodgers, fuck Aaron. No, in all seriousness, so the Packers are coming out as minus 475 favorites in this game. It's gonna be in Lambeau Field. Um, a sad stat, and it took me great pain looking up this stat, but I had to look it up just so I could say this. Aaron Rodgers has a 22-5 record against the Chicago Bears since Aaron Rodgers has been in the league. Um, yeah, it hasn't been pretty. I mean, when Aaron Rodgers quite literally said last year that he has owned the Bears, he has quite literally owned the Bears. Um, but however, though, I have a slight bit of optimism. So hear me out. I'm not saying it's going to be pretty, and I'm not saying that the Bears are going to win. However, though, if Aaron Rodgers wide receivers can't catch the ball, we might have a chance. We might be because last week their wide receiver core was trash. I would love to. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. If there was any chance, if there was any hope of chance of the Bears potentially beating the Packers and ending this god awful streak of not being able to beat the Packers, tomorrow's probably the best, or Sunday's probably the best. Like, I mean, even honestly, even this year entirely, like this is probably one of the best years that we've had to potentially beat Aaron Rodgers. So here's how bad the Packers were last week. Aaron Jones led that team. I mean, and granted, I'll give the Minnesota Vikings a lot of credit. The Minnesota Vikings are probably going to win that division if they continue to play the way they do. Their defense is pretty nice. Aaron Jones had 45 carries for 49 yards rushing, and AJ Dillon led that entire receiver core. AJ Dillon's a running back, and he led the receiving core with 5 receptions and 46 yards. That's really bad. Like, I remember their rookie this year, one of the rookies, Aaron. I don't know if you saw it. You might have seen it, but probably not. But like when Aaron Rodgers threw a deep ball to this rookie who had all the daylight, he had beaten this Vikings D back, and he dropped the ball. And I was like, it wasn't even like it wasn't a bobble and drop. No, it was a straight drop. It got into his hands and then it dropped. And I was like, bro, Aaron Rodgers was fucking pissed. He was so pissed. But yeah, ooh man, I'll tell you what. So like my final prediction, honestly, so I'll go 50-50. Unbiased, it's probably going to be the Packers. However, though, if if they play like they played last week, I think the Bears got a good shot. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Mhm. As much as I don't wanna say it, I'm gonna take the Packers. I mean, bro, can you believe that there are 2 Monday games? Speaking of the Monday games, I mean, we could talk about which one you wanna talk about. That's gonna be a fun game. That's gonna be a really fun game. Yeah, yeah. I 2 high-powered offenses. Honestly, I wrote down in my notes, this game will go down to which defense will hold. Like, which defense folds first, because they both have the offensive talent. The Vikings have Justin Jefferson, they have Adam Thielen, they got ooh, hold on, timeout. Could this potentially be the Jalen Rager revenge game? 'Cause it's gonna be in Philly. Yo, if I mean, obviously, they're gonna obviously pick, Jalen or not Jalen, Jesus, Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen, they're gonna pick them first before Jalen Reagor, but if Jalen Reagor has a nice game, like, he could have a nice game against Philly, Kirk Cousins could be like, "Listen, they traded him to us, let's help a brother out." And then you got the Eagles side. The Eagles have Devonta Smith, AJ Brown. Yeah. He looked really good. He looked really good against the Lions. The only reason why that game was close is because the defense kind of folded on him a little bit. Um So yeah, like I said, so Eagles are the minus 135 favorites. Like I said, this game is gonna go down to which defense can hold. Also another good acquisition that the Eagles got this year. They got that Gardner Johnson guy from the Saints. Who was very solid. That's the guy that oh, I don't remember which Bears player it was, but a Bears player smacked the shit out of him when he was in New Orleans. The Bears were playing the Saints, and I guess like he had set a quote unquote in terms of the Bears player Gardner Johnson had said something to him, and he smacked the shit out of him with his helmet on. Which number one, why would you punch someone in the face with a helmet on? Like helmets are literally protective. Like that's straight plastic that you're punching. But yeah, so it was It was funny. I'll agree with that. So yeah, so it'll go down to the defense. I'm picking the Eagles, and I know you don't want to hear it, but I'm picking the Eagles. Like I said, I think the Vikings are the best team in the NFC North, but we'll see. Oh yeah, most definitely. We got Dak. We got Zeke. Thanks, bro. Thick drinks, thick drinks. We done, boys. I'm sorry, good thing. He was all the way in Texas, yeah. No. Yeah. So here's speaking of that, here's there's a picture that I have loaded up. It's some guy did like an NFL division realignment based off of like geographical proximity. Bro, so like right now if it was realistically if it was geographical wise, the NFC East should be the Commanders, the Eagles, the Ravens and the Steelers. And then so I was looking at it. So there's only like there honestly it's kind of hilarious because the only division that stays the same because it's geographically correct is the NFC North. Every other team has a team that's not in that division. So like it's like the AFC East is the Bills, the Giants, the Jets, and the Patriots. The Dallas would be in the NFC South with the Falcons, Saints, and Texans. So and then like the AFC like I guess Central or whatever they call it the AFC Central and the NFC Central, even though it's I guess technically it's the North. It would be like the Bengals, Browns, Colts, and Titans. The AFC South would be the Buccaneers, Dolphins, Jaguars, and Panthers. The AFC West would be the Cardinals, Broncos, Chiefs, and Raiders. And then obviously, yeah, obviously NFC East would be Commanders, Eagles, Ravens, Steelers. The NFC Central would remain the same, which is Bears, Lions, Packers, Vikings. The NFC South, obviously, like I said, would be the Cowboys, Falcons, Saints, and Texans. And then the NFC West would be the Chargers, the 49ers, the Rams, and the Seahawks. That would be a good division. Yeah. There's two Monday games. I think mean what? I think the Titans and Bills start at 7:15. I think they've done it before. I think they've done it like maybe once before. Yeah, it's super weird. That's what I said. I was like, there's two Monday night games, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. It's like no different from. I mean, I guess it's not that much different from having like two Saturday games. How like at the end of the schedule they they do two like one or two Saturday games. That's gonna be a game. It's gonna be. Oh yeah. I think I'll pick the Bills on that too. This is gonna be a matter of this is gonna be another story. Are the Titans gonna be legit? Can they bounce back from that embarrassing loss against the Giants and like push their way back into the playoffs? Or are the Bills gonna just prove their dominance? Josh Allen is gonna look like can Josh Allen continue to be the god that he is and maybe have an MVP type season? Maybe even lead the team to his to that Super Bowl that they've been alluding. Alluding to. Oh yeah. Huh. Also, fun little fact: those 4 years that the Bills went to the Super Bowl, they all lost to NFC East opponents. They lost twice to the Cowboys, then they lost to the Giants and to the Redskins. That'll be it. That'll be a good one. Now the problem is that all right. So I think that the Bills have a great chance to go to the Super Bowl. God forbid. All right, listen. God forbid it was entertaining as hell. God forbid do not let the Bills run into the Chiefs again because that was madness. It was like, yo, we're just like, oh, hey, look, the Bills scored with 15 seconds left. Oh, shoot, the Chiefs scored with 13 seconds left. Oh, but the Bills scored again with 10 seconds left, and the Chiefs just scored with 5 seconds left. What in the hell? I'll take I'll take the Bills on that. Yeah. Probably. Well, probably. I hope not. 'Cause I got money on that. I hope not, cause yeah, I have. Well, I have a 15 I have a parlay on all the Sunday games except or all the Sunday games, and I think one of the Monday games. Oh, I do. I have the Bengals winning that game. Yeah, I got. Well, it's part of this parlay that I have. So like, I listen, I used to not do it either, but now I'm kind of addicted, it's kind of a problem, I need to call that 1-800 gambler. They call that number, it's like, yeah, my fucking friends got me into this bullshit. However, though, I'm not as stupid as one of my friends, bro. He will literally drop, like, fucking 50 to $100 every time he bets. I think the most I've ever spent on a bet is, like, $6. Granted, I'm not good. I've only won one of my bets. I'm not good at it, but I mean, like, I don't drop a bajillion dollars. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, you could put money on Ohio State, but the problem with that is that like you're not gonna make any money off of that because every time Ohio State plays, they're usually like here. I'll give you an example. Georgia right now. So on Saturday, Georgia plays South Carolina. Georgia is minus 3,500 favorites. Like so you're not gonna make any money off of Georgia if you I mean you might make 10 cents. So if you bet on Georgia, if you bet $5 on Georgia to win that game, you're only gonna come out with a payout of $5.14. Actually, I'm quite curious. I actually wanna see what that, what Ohio State's money line is, because they play who'd you say they play this week? Oh, yeah, Toledo, great. Oh, bro, they don't even have a money line for the Ohio State Toledo game. That's probably because Ohio State's probably minus 20,000 favorite. If you bet on Ohio State, you get a shiny penny. That wouldn't be I guess that wouldn't be too bad. That would be a lot better odds than ooh, the Penn State game that has pretty solid odds. Not too bad. Oof. The fuck that. I'm not doing that. I mean, granted, I think they'll beat Auburn because that's what they got Auburn. But I think they'll beat them. It's gonna be in Auburn. But I mean, like, I don't trust. I have a slight distrust in Penn State because they always have a problem of when they're ranked losing the teams that aren't unranked.